This is where we hold them. This is where we fight. This is where they die.
Hey everybody, it's Sniper here from SPaR, Region 302. This is my second video, so this is should be interesting. But I have had a couple requests from a couple people asking me how to create or build a successful alliance in Doomsday Last Survivor. First off, I just want to say is that no alliance is easy to build. They're difficult, they're hard to maintain. If you're an R5 leader, it requires a lot of your time, and it's not an easy task, and it's not an easy job. So I have about 6 to 7 things here. Let's just say 7. I have about 7 tips for you guys as for building a successful alliance in Doomsday, and hopefully this helps a little bit, because I know there's a lot of players out there who start alliances and they fail and they don't understand the concept of what it actually takes to build one. SPaR was handed to me about a year ago. It was a small, very, very small alliance. Me and some other people were kind of just next in line, and I decided that, yeah, I'll take it over. So over the past year has been a huge learning curve. I'm still learning things all the time. You will never stop learning things as a leader in Doomsday. People will gravitate to you. They will look to you to make decisions. They rely on you. So as an R5 leader, you always want to make sure that you have that in the forefront of everything that you do, is that everything you do is for your players and your members. So with that being said, the very first thing that I want to cover is probably one of the most important things about building a successful alliance in Doomsday is tip number one, be patient. Please be patient. Grow slow. Don't grow fast. I promise you, you will regret it later if you decide that, oh, well, we got X amount of players and we need a couple tier 6s on our team. No, you don't. Absolutely no, you do not. Let me tell you why. As your alliance grows, let me just show you SPaR here from on paper. SPaR right now is currently at 3.9 billion might. Okay, now if you go and look at our players, you have me, who's on top, is 195 million. Now, as you start looking through here, and as I start showing you guys this, my players are all tier 5s except J-Rock. Me and J-Rock are the only tier 6s in my alliance right now, and we keep it that way for a reason, okay? Because as you grow, you will acquire tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 players, especially if you're just starting out in Doomsday and you're starting a new alliance and a new region. You're obviously going to end up having a whole bunch of players that are like 500,000 might, maybe 1 million, 2 million might players. These are tier 1, tier 2 players. Okay, it's going to take time for those players to grow. Okay, and if you're an R5, okay, you want to nurture those players the best you can. They're going to look for you to lead them and to make decisions for them and to help them grow and to have fun too. That's probably the biggest thing. So the biggest common mistake is that people will create these alliances, and you start getting to where you start doing events and you start doing things, and the next thing you know, you're like, oh, well, we need stronger players. Remember this. As you gain stronger players, you're going to fight stronger players. There's always going to be somebody stronger than you in Doomsday. No doubt. Hands down. There's always going to be somebody that is stronger, bigger, and badder than you. So you're going to win some and you're going to lose some. It's just the way it is. You just got to take the good with the bad, continue to grow, build team unity, and hopefully things will work out for you. So that's number one. Grow slow, right? But do not make the mistake of trying to add a bunch of people to grow too fast. If you grow too fast, you'll regret it. Tip number 2, build a good core team. Okay, and what I mean by that is, in every good team, every good alliance, okay, you probably have which are your R4s maybe. So my R4s are these guys right here. Okay, these are my go-to guys. These guys, we have our Discord, so we communicate. This team right here can fill in for me anytime that I need them to, and I know all things are always handled with my team. Okay, I have about, let's see, I have 8 R4s, and then in my R3s, I also have leaders. Okay, so SPaR is not just designated to the R4 ranks. Okay, you need leaders throughout your entire alliance. Okay, this is going to build that good core team. So everybody has a responsibility. So in my previous video, I had talked about how SPaR has a intricate chain of command. So as you see, as I scroll through here, you have me as the general, and all these are taken from Marine Corps ranks, because I was in the Marine Corps for 11 years. So me as a general, then I have Tomb and Snake. They're my lieutenant generals. Cole and Pry, major generals. Kong is a brigadier. Colonels are Blessed and PP. As you go down and you look, and I scroll, everybody that's not even an R4. These are some of these are R3s that have responsibilities and roles that they do within the R3 rank. Okay, so just because you're not an R4, it does not necessarily mean that you're a leader. What this does is it gives your team and it gives your players the opportunity to lead and have responsibility within your alliance, which in turn creates unity and team management. Okay, yes, I know this is just a game, but sometimes even having an organized game and an organized alliance helps your entire members and your entire alliance with everything. Okay, keeping track of nodes that aren't empty. You always want to make sure you empty nodes. Checking who's applying for your alliance, things like that. As you look down the rules, pretty much the same rules apply to almost every alliance you can look for. Don't making sure that these leaders that are nurturing smaller players. Hey, don't attack without getting permission from one of your R4s or R5s. Just be respectful. Be diplomatic with people in your region, stuff like that. Gather an alliance territory. So this team will help manage and create the identity of your alliance. Okay, so building a core team is probably the most second most important thing, because being patient is obviously number one. You have to be patient. If you get too hurry, you're going to ruin your alliance. Number two, building that core team. You got to have that core team. Okay, tip number 3, moving on, is research. Okay, so nothing happens without research. Your alliance is going to rely on technology, and technology determines what you're going to do. Now, as you see, you have 3 tabs here: development, territory, and warfare. Okay, you also have skills, but we'll cover that later when it comes to skills and how they help your alliance. Okay, but number 1, starting out. Okay, number 1, if you're a new alliance, development. You can't build an army if you can't feed an army. Okay, so resources are going to be key. Okay, so as you start doing your resources and research and stuff like that, you're obviously going to see building upgrade speed, because a lot of your smaller players are going to be upgrading and doing research to get better things, like far as, I'll just show you. So if I come over to my research, which is all maxed out. Okay, most of your players are going to be starting out in the economic technology here, which is basically food production. You have building upgrade speed and wood production. So food, wood, stuff like that. You have your next tier, which is your food gathering speed. So this is when your troops go out and start gathering. Okay, as an alliance, you want to make sure that you are prioritizing. For me personally, I think if you're a small alliance and you're a new alliance, development is paramount. Okay, the development tree is so important to do, because it has a lot of this stuff where not only does it give you like text research, it increases your research speed for your players as well. It also gives you stuff like damage dealt to zombies, because zombies give you XP to help level up your heroes. So the more damage you can do to zombies, the higher level zombies you can kill, the more XP you can also get as well. So as you move on, you see that your food gathering speed and your resource gathering speed will also increase, which also helps your members gather resources faster. Remember, the faster the resources you can gather, the faster you can grow. Okay. Now, that being said, territory is also just as important because you have things like warehouse storage that come up, alliance warehouse capacity, which also in turns helps the capacity of your alliance warehouse for materials, which happens to be let me see, territory, your alliance warehouse right here. So as you look at your Alliance warehouse, if you look across the bottom, it has Alliance food, Alliance wood, Alliance steel. As you see, we're pretty much maxed out on resources at the moment. Resource nodes, we have all these resource nodes, which in turn builds Alliance resources. Why is this important? Because as your players go out to farm, your alliance also gets a boost from the resources that they gather. So that's going to be super important for you guys. Okay, so research, alliance research is so important. Territory, as you start growing and you start doing events, you will need to, and you will want to eventually start doing this territory stuff, because territory is also just as important because it gives you this research, which will help you with your HP, things that go on inside the territory. It might even be travel speed, things like that. Infrastructure buildings, you got warehouse storage, solid fuel, burn speed for when you're attacking other alliance towers. Okay, which this is a super important thing because you want to be able to burn those towers as fast as you possibly can. Another one I would say is just as important is solid construction. Okay, so solid construction is your alliance durability for your towers. Okay, so when you have this maxed out, your tower hit points are like 7,200, which is pretty much maxed out. Okay, you want to get this as high as you can, because if another alliance attacks your towers and they have, like, say, a low burn speed, okay, they're gonna have to attack your tower maybe 2 times before they can burn it out. Okay, so it gives you time to defend. It gives you durability in the battlefield. Warfare. Okay, now if you're an alliance that likes to fight, like SPaR, like we love to fight, you're going to want to eventually start progressing in warfare. Yes, everything looks so fancy. You want to say, yeah, I want infantry attack and I want all this stuff, and that's all fine and dandy. There's nothing wrong with that to give your alliance a boost in their attack abilities. But I would say if you could hold off on this as long as you can, do some here and there just to kind of fill in some spots. Maybe this first tier, maybe the second tier, which is rally charge, because you're going to want to do hives and stuff like that and prep time. But once you pretty much get to these, maybe past these first 3 tiers right here, I would say hold off. Because you still got more to do. You're going to have more development to do. So I would say research is probably the third most important part of building your alliance. Okay, next I want to cover is events. So events are super important, obviously. So in events you will get special rewards, things that you can use for leveling up your heroes. Just for an example, if I go to my other, I'll show you my bag. No big deal, right? So as you do events, you will get like these fragments here. These fragments are skill upgrade fragments for your heroes. You can use these to upgrade your skills. You will also get battle manuals for leveling up your heroes, stars for once your heroes get maxed out at a certain level, you have to use stars to basically progress them. So you'll want to do that. Some events will give you outpost toolboxes, which is used for leveling up your front outpost, which happens to be this piece right here. This piece, this outpost. Okay, you will want to get this to level 25 as fast as you possibly can. Okay, and the reason why I say that is because if you do plan on sticking around in Doomsday for a long time and playing for a long time, you will eventually get to where you want to unlock tier 6 troops, and you will need this tower upgraded to level 25, and you will also need your battle center leveled to level 25 as well. and your research, but that's a whole different story. We'll get all into that. So that's later. I'll do another video later on about actually leveling up to level 25 and acquiring tier 6s. So what I want to cover about events, the most important thing I want you to understand about events is you will lose some, but you will also win some. Just get your rewards, okay? Do the best you can to help all your team members get their rewards so they can continue to grow, right? You might lose, and it's okay. You shove it, you shrug it off, and you move on. Next event, whatever. We had a bad event, it's okay. On to the next, okay? We got our rewards. Let's upgrade. Let's get stronger, okay? So that should be the mentality that you have when it comes to events. Is always looking forward to the next event, to get stronger, to get better, to build unity, to build as a team. Okay, so events are super important. Try to get into events. You have events like Pompeii. Pompeii is a good event, which is on a Monday and Tuesday. This is a good team core building event. You also have events like Genesis War, Archipelago Raid, and now Island Raid is coming back. So you have some great events out there that will help your players grow. I would say try to get in every event that you can. So if you can do that, yeah, it could be a little taxing at times. Just be patient. It will allow you to grow. So that is it for pretty much events. The next thing that I actually want to cover is number 5 is adding players to your alliance. Now, this is something that you seriously want to be careful about, because as you play at events, you will come across players, and players are going to like your alliance, and they're going to like you, and they'll want to join your alliance, okay? Be careful. And the reason why I say this is because as you build your alliance, you build your core team, you build your core values, what you stand for, and everything. Now, you say you bring somebody into your alliance that doesn't align kind of correctly with what you got going on, they will be a problem every time. I kid you not. They will be a problem for you every time, and they will become toxic, and they will make your players and your members upset, and that's bad for not just you, but everybody. Okay, I've literally seen alliances just get destroyed because of 1 or 2 players. Okay, it's not worth it. Okay, what I like to do is when we bring in other players, usually from the same region, we'll allow players to come into SPaR and come fight with us, because if they're from the same region, we kind of know them. If I don't know them, I can always message their R5 and ask them, hey, what's up with so-and-so? Is he a good player? What's his mentality like? And then usually their R5 is like, no, he's good to go. You know, yeah, he wants to just join you guys for an event. Great, no problem. Cool, come over and let's swing an axe and let's kill some people, all right? So we're all going to have a good time and have fun. No problems, right? And then once they're done, they go back to their alliance. But sometimes you have these players that come from outer regions, other regions, that want to come in and join your team and play with you. Just be very, 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 very careful about who you let in your alliance, and how you let them influence the people around you, okay? Because not everybody's the same, right? So as you build your alliance, people get to know you. Your members get to know you. They know how you think. They know how you click. They know what makes you tick, right? You get to know your members and their personalities, and same thing, what makes them click and what makes them tick. And you can always kind of just fill each other out. You will become friends with the people that are in your alliance, and you will all grow together and have a great time. Don't let an outside player come in and ruin that. If that's the case, you let somebody in, you want to test somebody out, sure, let them test them out. There's no problem with testing somebody out, but always have your finger on the discharge button. I mean, as soon as a player starts getting negative or nasty or making derogatory remarks towards you or any of your leaders or your team, or maybe what we don't like is when people come in and start talking nasty to females players. I mean, that's an instant kick. Okay, so I mean, I have zero tolerance for anything like that. So that was another most important thing. Is number 5 is adding players. Just be careful about who you add to your alliance. Number 6 is, this is basically for R4 or for the R5, excuse me, is be fair always. Be fair to everybody always. Okay, it can be very easy to want to be selfish with merit awards and give yourself things because you're the R5. But I've always found that while you're building your alliance, okay, if you will put your team ahead of you, not only will it build respect and unity within your alliance, everybody will look at you as a fair leader, and they'll follow you, and they'll want to be there, and they'll want to hang out because you have their best interest in mind. So always try to be a fair leader. Think things out, talk to your team, utilize your team to make decisions. Don't just make a decision on your own because you want to be a dictator leader. Okay, so for some alliances that works, but I would say probably for most alliances that doesn't work. Every alliance and probably Doomsday has some sort of team that you all collaborate with. Y'all all try to make a base decision on when you need a decision to be made. So do that, be fair. And number 7, always try to have fun no matter what you do. Things can get a little testy and Doomsday sometimes. Emotions can get a little heated, especially if you follow chat, which you don't want to do sometimes. It gets pretty nasty, but always try to have fun. Always try to have fun with your team, okay? And I think at the end of the day, even if you're winning or losing, if you're having fun, that's the name of the game, and everybody has a good time. So that is pretty much all that I can give you as far as tips when it comes to creating a successful alliance. And there's so many other different ways to do it, but this is what's worked for me, and this is what's worked for SPaR. And we have great people in this alliance, and there's such good people that, you know, I can call them at any time, literally on the phone. We have a Discord channel which we can communicate throughout the day. So it's just you're always in each other's ear, you're always checking on each other, and you build kind of like a family, and that's a good thing. So I can't really think of anything else to add. I hope you guys really enjoyed the video. If you have anything you want to input, you can feel free to drop them in the comments box and let me know what you think. But I think that will do it for tonight. If you have any questions, please ask me, and I will try to get back to you as soon as I possibly can. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will catch you on the next one. Peace out.